to go look at what some of these teams have done, what some of them thought they did and didn't do. So this should be pretty good.
It's going to be fun making fun of some teams. I'm just going to say it right out.
We're going to kill some people's hopes in May.
Yep. Do it. Welcome to Six Rings and Counting. I'm your host, Corey Idle, and joining me today breaking down the entire AFC is my man, Lou Willard. Lou?
Thanks, my friend.
Oh, well, hello, fella.
Well, hello, fella.
How are you today?
This should be good. This should be a fun show. To go look at what some of these teams have done, what some of them thought they did and didn't do. So this should be pretty good.
It's going to be fun making fun of some teams. I'm just going to say it right out.
We're going to kill some people's hopes in May.
Yep. Do it.
I see you rocking your Cornet face shirt.
Always rocking Cornet.
That should get us censored right off of YouTube.
Keeping it honest right off the bat. You know we're coming with no caps. Let's start off with the AFC, Lou. Specifically AFC East. A lot of changes taking place here. You got Buffalo, Miami, New England, the Jets. Oh, what do you think right off the bat?
I mean, we'll start from the bottom up. The Patriots are clearly, you know, and I get all the fandom and all that, but they're behind everybody else right now. You got Jared Mayo coming in to coach. You're going to have a rookie quarterback. You still nobody to throw to. You got a good running back, but they're just when you look at the other three teams, just even from the quarterback position, the Jets, Rodgers, Dolphins, Tua, Bills, Allen, Patriots, Drake, May. One of these things are not like the other.
Yeah.
So they're starting behind. I see them struggling this year. The next team up I see, this is where it's going to get really interesting. Mm-hmm. It's a three-way battle for the top. I don't know if the Dolphins have the dog in them. If they did, they wouldn't have lost that game to the Bills and had to go to Kansas City and play in sub-below zero temperatures.
Exactly.
And that game was at home, I believe. Mm-hmm. And you lost it. So until they prove they have the dog, I don't see them coming out of this division. The Jets are the most mysterious team in the division because we haven't seen them with Aaron Rodgers yet.
Right.
You haven't seen it yet. They had Garrett Wilson. They had no quarterback. Yeah, Breece Hall? Mm-hmm. Breece Hall. They added Mike Williams, so now he has another target. They have weapons. They revamped the line. They have weapons. They're going to be very competitive with the Bills for this division, and the Bills overhauled their receiving core. Gabe Davis gone. Stephon Diggs are gone. They still got Cook in the backfield. You still have Josh Allen. You still have the best quarterback in the division.
Sure.
And Aaron Rodgers just passed his prime. If he was in his prime, it'd be Aaron Rodgers. But if it was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. But nonetheless, you're still dealing with that. So I think this division, it's going to come down between those three top teams. But till the Dolphins can prove they can win when they have to, I got to count them out. And I don't know about the Jets. The Jets have the best defense, so I would say the Jets going to win the division. Yeah. I'm going on a limb right now and call the Jets to win this division.
That's how I'm going to go as well. I think from top to bottom, I'm going Jets, Dolphins, Bills, Patriots. I think the Finns lost too much on defense to keep up, quite frankly. I think the Bills overhaul is just going to kill them. It might be a 2 or 3 year rebuild because they have the talent elsewhere.
Yeah.
But still, they are in a rebuild, and the Patriots are just years behind, seasons behind.
Yeah.
Moving on, AFC West. We have Broncos, Chiefs, Raiders, and the Chargers.
I mean, this one I don't think is too hard to decipher.
No,
we figure the Broncos are going to be at the bottom. Mm-hmm. They're in a rebuild, and now you have I like the quarterback. I like Bo Nix. We've talked about that, but he's still a rookie. Mm-hmm. It's just going to be a rough deal. I think Sean Payton's smelling his pee a little bit too much. He thinks he's untouchable, so he's giving away too much stuff, like he's unfireable. Oh, no, if they hired you, they can fire you. He's just hoping they don't. But I see them finishing last in this division. Next, I see the Raiders. because they're still just missing too many pieces. Again, no quarterback. Gardner Minshew or Aiden O'Connell. That's who you're going into battle with.
Yep.
You're clearly behind the Chargers with Herbert, and everybody's behind the Chiefs and Mahomes. And even though the Chargers have done a complete offensive overhaul, no Keenan Allen, no Mike Williams, no Austin Eckler, they still have Justin Herbert.
Yep.
That could make up for a whole lot of stuff, and he can make a lot of guys look better than they currently are. Not saying that they can be, but currently are. They do have the new coach, Jim Harbaugh, coming in, though I'm not a fan, never have been. Dude is a dog. Dude has proven he can coach in the NFL. Took the 49ers to 2 AFC or NFC championships and 1 Super Bowl.
Yep.
So I see this, and the Chiefs are the Chiefs. I'm not giving them any more credit than they already get. But I see this thing going Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders, Broncos.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with that as well. Chiefs are an obvious one. I mean, until somebody can beat them, there's not even reason to talk about them anymore. Chargers, Herbert makes the difference there. I think it's going to be a new look team, but they're going about it the right way. The Raiders, it's fine if you don't have a quarterback, but you can't lose Josh Jacobs as well.
Yeah.
That's just, and then replacing him with Brock Bowers in the draft. That's not the solution, guys. Not in Vegas, not in Oakland, not in LA, not in any team, anywhere you've decided to play. That ain't going to win it. And the Broncos, this is my plea for the Broncos. I have nothing invested in this team whatsoever. Okay? Stop hiring these coaches. For the love of God, you hire Josh McDaniels. He decimates your team. You hire Sean Payton. He's decimating your team. You get rid of Jerry Jeudy, who may have left anyway, but you're doing nothing to fix this other than hiring these hard-ass coaches who don't know how to coach to a modern NFL team. And it's never going to work with Sean Payton.
Yeah, and the thing is not that they're hiring them and giving them too much power.
There you go.
You could hire the guy, but just tell him, no, you're not the GM. No, you don't control player personnel. I got a guy for that. You coach.
That's it.
You a 2-block dope dealer. I don't need you 4 blocks down the street.
That is it.
That's how you go to jail. Stay in your lane. But they turn the whole show over to him.
Yep.
Sean Payton has full reign over that team. And look what it's doing to him.
The days of Bill Belichick are gone. Yeah. It's over. If you're going to have an old school coach, that's fine, but they got to be more like Andy Reid. They got to be beer drinking, cheeseburger eating guys that let you go do what you want to do.
Farm commercial doing.
Period. Or you go the Steelers route.
Yeah.
Right? You hire Tomlin, and then you have your GM, and they work together.
You work together.
Period. Moving on, AFC South. I'm so sick of the Denver Broncos just messing up this stuff. It's so ridiculous. Texans, Colts, Jaguars, and Titans in the South. Again, this doesn't seem like it's very difficult to me.
No, you have a clear leader. It's the Texans. I mean, they are built to win a Super Bowl now. And their draft was that good on top of the team that they just had. I know they got blown out in Baltimore. I get all that.
Sure.
Get it. This team just reloaded.
Yep.
They reloaded. They added Stephon Diggs. I mean, come on, man. To go with Nico Collins and Tank Dell. You got Dalton Schultz. You got the running guy. They added Joe Mick. I mean, come on. You got my man C.J. Stroud. This team is loaded. They run away with this division.
100%.
They run away with it. Next, I still think this is going to shock everybody. The next pick, now that I look at it, I think the Titans will finish second. They finished last year, but having Brian Callahan come in.
Okay.
You picked up Tony Pollard. You got the other running back. I forget his name. But then you picked up Calvin Ridley.
Mm-hmm.
You just signed Boyd. Mm-hmm. And then you're still in this division. And Titans are always, we talked about this on the other show the other day. What are they going to do? They're going to be physical.
Yep.
They're going to punch some people in the mouth. I don't see the Colts being a very physical team. And they still basically have a rookie quarterback because he got hurt early last year.
Mm-hmm.
Then the Jaguars, the cons on them. We talked about your shirt.
Yep.
You know we can't get a Cons no love.
There's only one Con I give love to, and his name is Omar.
That's it. That's it. So, I mean, I see this division the same. I mean, the Texans are a runaway winner. They're liable to have 13 or 14 wins this year.
Yeah.
You know, the second place team, I think the Titans are going to surprise everybody with that new coach. I really do. I like the pieces they put in. They got faster. They got more athletic. They went away from the big bruising running back, but they have Tajay Spears, and Tony Pollard. Now they got a lot faster, a lot more receptions out of the backfield, added the new receivers out there, and they're formidable. They were formidable anyway. I know they went 6-11, but how many times they get blown out? They were always in games. That's the one thing my man Vrabes had them was in football games. And now Brian Callahan's going to take some of that Cincinnati stuff, bring in that, that offense, open it up, and I think you're going to see some stuff out of them. But then I think Jaguars will finish third, and I think the Colts are going to be in the bottom.
Yeah, I have to agree there. I think the Texans, it goes without saying, I think they clearly that if you're going to rebuild, you move on from a Deshaun Watson situation.
Yeah.
Whether or not you got lucky hitting CJ Stroud when you did, doesn't matter. You got him, and you built around him. That offense is powerful. That defense is good enough to compete with anybody. You're good to go. Titans, you lose Derrick Henry, but I think a lot of people sleep on actually how good Will Levis can be, and they've built around him.
I mean, I know I said they're going to finish second. I'm guessing the kid's going to work out by picking him because, the Jaguars have Trevor Lawrence, and I just picked Levis to finish ahead of him. So we'll see.
That was going to be my exact next point with the Jaguars. I think Trevor Lawrence I don't think he's a bust by any stretch yet.
No, he's not a bust.
But this is a big year for him. This is a massive prove-it year. Whether or not you get to the playoffs is almost irrelevant. You have got to show you are the leader of that team. And he just hasn't done it yet. Yeah,
he's got, he obviously has to improve, but he is far from a bust.
Sure.
He's the last thing from a bust. But you got rid of your receiving core, Ridley. But you brought in Brian Thomas Jr. I think they got Brian Thomas Jr. So you replaced him with a younger guy, faster guy. He still has the weapons. They have a formidable defense, but he's got to click with the coach. He and the coach have to get on the same page.
Yep.
They have to get on the same page. And they're a lot. Until they do, they're like the Dolphins to me. Until you do. Must be a Florida team thing. Until you do, I don't want to hear it. Because, they'll go into Pittsburgh and beat them. But then when you got to win a game, you lost to Cincinnati at home with a backup quarterback.
Yep.
And that's one of the things that derailed their season. Then you lose your game, win, you in the playoffs, lose, you out, you lost. So until you do, that's where I'm at with the Jags.
Yeah, it's hard to make excuses for a guy that's had Calvin Ridley, Christian Kirk, Zay Jones, and Travis Etienne.
Yeah. And
for multiple years, and now you get rid of Ridley, you get rid of Jones, you bring in Thomas Jr., you still got the rest of that team. This offense has got to be yours this year, man. It just has to. And with the Colts, like you said, I don't know what Jonathan Taylor's got left. A lot of people are focusing on the quarterback. Jonathan Taylor could make that team go. I just don't know if he has it left. And that's no shot at him.
I think he does, but they have to lean on him so much. They're going to wear him out.
Yeah.
They don't make Derrick Henry everywhere. If they did, there'd be 32 of him starting in the league. He's the only dude that you've seen be able to carry that weight in today's football.
Sure.
It's not back in the 90s, when we all played all that. No. Running backs, there's always a two-platoon system. No one's carried it like Derrick Henry. He'd have worked out well in the 90s when the running back was the first overall pick in the draft.
Yeah, exactly.
Now it's all quarterbacks, receivers. My man's still toting the pill as much as they need him to, breaking 90-yard runs, all this, that, and the other. They don't build them like that. So to expect Jonathan Taylor to be that is an unrealistic expectation.
Yes.
So what they need is Anthony Richardson to realize he's not a tailback and throw the ball. Quit running around, throw the ball. But he's basically a rookie quarterback again because he got hurt early.
Yep. And saving the best for last, obviously, the AFC North, Ravens, Bengals, Browns, and our hometown Pittsburgh Steelers.
This one's rough.
This is so difficult. You obviously want to go for the homer pick. They've done the most in the offseason. They've been talked about the most. And don't get us wrong here, guys. We are going to break this down in a lot more detail as the offseason goes on. We're just doing a flash hit here. But you want to go with the Steelers because they've done the most. They've had the most exciting offseason. But boy, oh boy, this division is tough. It can't really let any team out of your sight.
It really is, but I'm still going to pick the Steelers. Why? Obviously, I'm a homer, but they went 5-1 in it last year.
Yep.
So it's hard to pick it, and they play the same crossover matchups that the rest of the division play
with what we hope to be a much worse offense.
Yeah, I mean it's a better team on paper, and you play the same teams. Everybody has to go play. Who is it? The AFC West that they all play. Everybody got to play them.
Yep.
It's not like they picked you. Everybody got to go play the NFC East.
Yeah.
Everybody got to play the Cowboys and the Eagles. So it just isn't the Steelers. So they went 5-1 this division. I think they can win it again. It's not going to be easy by any stretch. Because if Burrow doesn't get hurt, if he stays healthy this year, if Deshaun Watson remembers that he actually can play quarterback, look out for the Browns, as much grief as I like to give them. And then for some reason, the Ravens are just always there. They're just always there. They don't have any receivers. They went 13-4. They got something. Yeah. I mean, I understand you got Lamar, but then you go, who's the stars outside Lamar? Well, they just added Derrick Henry for a physical football team who like to run the ball. And then Zay Flowers has jumped up and pow, here you go. So, and all they want to talk about is Lamar can't throw the ball. Well, I'm looking at this thing, they went 13-4. 2 of the losses come to the Steelers. That means against everybody else in the league, they went 13 down. I mean, come on now.
Yep.
So this division, I think the Steelers, based on last year's record and my homerism, if that's a word, I'm going to pick the Steelers. I got to say, I would say the Browns are going to be second.
Okay.
And then I'm going to say the Bengals. And then I'm going to say the Ravens will finally come back to earth and finish last. They're replacing 3 offensive linemen in Baltimore.
Our producer, Nathan, is a Bengals fan, and he is smiling ear to ear now that he's not in last place. That is hilarious.
Well, you finished in last place last year with a winning record.
Yeah.
You take that record in some of these other divisions, you're second. Hell, a couple years ago, you'd have won it by 2 games. But nonetheless, it is going to be a toss-up. Cincinnati they have to prove they can beat Cleveland consistently.
100%.
You know, they got hot for those few years. They're good. They are good. They are good. Orlando Brown was the tackle I was talking about, had the bad year for the Bengals last year when I forgot his name on the other show. But they picked up Amarius Mims. You keep Burrow clean and healthy. They running it back with Higgins and Brown, or Higgins and Jamar Chase, and then Chase Brown in the backfield. They're formidable, man.
They are.
I mean, so this thing is going to be a toss-up. I think you're going to see all 4 teams above 500 again.
No, it really is. And I think, we talked about the Ravens did well, Steelers did well in the division last year. One thing we're not taking into account, Nick Chubb was out.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow was banged up all year or out.
Hold on. If you're starting with Cleveland, Nick Chubb and Deshaun Watson.
There you go.
They're tailback and quarterback. And these fools win 11-6.
This division is no joke, and no team is making it out of here unscathed. This is going to get bloody.
You have to win this division to have any chance.
I would personally go probably Steelers, Ravens, just based on history. Then I'd go Browns, and I just think, sorry, Nathan, the Bengals lost too much and didn't gain enough back on defense or in the running game to get them out of this division. And like I said, they might be in last place with the winning record again and might have a really good offense. I just don't think they got the defense to hang with the Browns, Steelers, or Ravens.
The biggest concern I have about the Bengals, honestly, is they lost that offensive coordinator. He's now the head coach of the Titans.
Right.
So, but their head coach is an offensive guy.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why I think it'll keep them on the level. So when you say somebody's going, look, this division, somebody can win it with 12 games and the last place person can have 9 or 10 wins.
Yeah.
It is crazy.
It's insane.
It is crazy. You stick these 4 teams out in any other division that the Chiefs or the Texans aren't in, and they would be favored to win the division.
So running through this real fast, we have the Chiefs division win.
Yeah, we got the Chiefs.
Excuse me. We have the Chiefs as division winners. We have the Jets as division winners. We have the Texans and Steelers. Our wild card teams all coming from the AFC North.
I mean, last year 2 of them did. Unless you look at the Dolphins or the Bills can get in there. Mm-hmm. You're getting 1 team out the South, 1 team out the West, and those are the teams that win the division. That's the Chiefs and Texans.
Sure.
Everybody else, 5 other teams are coming out of the East and North. That's just it.
That is absolutely insane.
Wouldn't it be funny if all 4 teams in the AFC North made the playoffs?
It would not shock me.
I mean,
a bit.
Yeah, 4 or 5. Yeah, it could, but that would mean the Bills and the Dolphins would have to just have a bad season though, because these teams in the North, everybody can't win 12 games. It's not built like that.
No, but it's possible. It is the way this NFL goes anymore. It is very possible that the Bills and the Dolphins completely fall apart.
They could.
All right.
I think the Jets going to step out there and shock some people.
You heard it here first. Jets, Steelers, AFC Championship game. For Lou Willard, I'm Corey Idle. 6 rings and counting. We will talk to you next time.